From Hollywood, where Tom Cruise is still saving Hollywood, one temper tantrum at a time, this is Kurt Berglund with a book review for a baseball book that I've talked about before, but I want to talk a little bit more about today. It's called The Complete Book of Baseball's Negro Leagues, the other half of baseball history, and it's by John Holway. It has a 2001 copyright. And has gone through a period over the last few years where it has been extremely expensive to purchase, like over $100 at a lot of sites. But it has come down now, and at sites such as Amazon and used bookshops, you can get it for under $40 per copy. I want to talk to you today about the book, how it's organized, how it's set up, and what I think it has to offer you. The first thing that you'll notice when you open the book is that it has wonderful pictures, and better pictures and pictures I haven't seen other places. It is organized by season for each year of the Negro Leagues, and it analyzes and gives information about each of the leagues within that calendar year. The opening of the year section begins with a sort of a background of the history of what was happening in the world and in the United States in that calendar year, and then it breaks out with information about each of the leagues that were in existence for that year. Holway is a prolific writer. You've probably heard of him before. His work is available on baseballguru.com under the Negro Leagues tab if you'd like to read more about the work that he has done. There are stories about the players and the teams that were relevant in each of those years as he goes through year by year. And there is a statistical breakdown of the biggest accomplishments of that year statistically. Now the stats, of course, being 20 years old, and because Negro League stats have been improved upon over the last 20 years, the stats are typically out of date. However, he has by team gone through where it's available and identified the starting lineups and the key pitchers for each team in the leagues that he's been able to research. That's not out of date, so the stats that go with them are dated, but the lineups, the starting lineups for the players of the teams are not. Another section in each year is that where there is data available about how Negro League players have done against white teams or Cuban teams or Mexican teams, foreign teams of any color, that information is included as well. After the World Series for the Negro Leagues begins in 1924, there is an extended section in each year about that series as well. So you'll get a line score for the game, you'll get the pitchers for the World Series games, and a brief description not only of the series as a whole, but of each particular game as the series went along. The games are also dated, so you get a sense of where they fall in the calendar. In other words, were all the games played in a row, or was there an extended break, as there were in several World Series between some of the games? Was weather a factor? All of that is part of what you get when he does the work with the World Series. There is an extended set of stats at the back. There is an index that is quite lengthy and good if you're looking to do research about a particular player or a team. So there's a wealth of information in the book if you can sort of forgive and understand that the statistical pieces are going to be a little bit dated. Again, the pictures alone, I think, are a wealth of information. Several are in action shots, which is hard to believe. I don't know where he put his hands on these pictures, but they are excellent, black and white. and they are interspersed with each particular calendar year that he is talking about in the book. So there are several parts within each section of the book. The history part of the world and of the United States. Then he gets into the individual leagues. Then he gets into great statistical accomplishments for that season. Then at the end, if there are big series between winning teams of the Negro Leagues in that season against other races or in other countries, he gets into that as well. And then finally, the Negro Leagues component. This is a wonderful resource. I don't recommend it, quite frankly, if you have to pay $100 for it or more, as has been the case. But if you can find it, as you can right now, for a price of $40 or less, and you're a fan of the Negro Leagues, I think you'll find this book very interesting and very useful for your own learning about the players and the teams that made the leagues so fantastic. I hope this has been helpful. My name's Kurt Berglund. This is another in my series of book reviews. Please subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with more reviews that I'll be doing, and I'm doing right now a couple a week, I guess somewhere around that. And that's a project that I'm doing for 2021 on my YouTube channel. Thanks again. I hope you have a good day. So long, everybody.